Hey guys, so today we're looking at section 8.5 and we're going to start up with some warm-up questions and then we're going to take a look at how we can use logs to help us solve for some questions that look like A through F but might be a little bit more challenging. So looking at letter A, if we're solving for x, you would ask yourself what number squared would give you 9. And when you solve for x, the answer would be 3. Looking at B, you're asking what 3 raised to what power would equal 81. So looking here, we would have to, you could use guess and check for this one because x does come out to be a whole value. If you plug it in on your calculator, you'll find that 3 to the 4th power is equal to 81, so x is equal to 4. Looking at letter C, if we're asking what is log base 4 of 4, remember we could change this to exponential form and then see if we could look at what the answer would be. So if we say, hey, what is this answer, or in other words, if we let it equal x, an unknown, let's take this and convert it to exponent form. Our base is the same base of the log, so we would have 4 raised to the, remember our answer of the log is our exponent, so 4 to what power would equal 4. Just took the answer of my log and put it in exponential form. So looking at this exponential equation then, we'd say 4 raised to what power is 4? X would equal 1. So even looking at A through C, we could do all of these kind of really without our calculator. Now let's look at D, E, and F. If we look at D, we're asking 3 raised to what power is equal to 1. Now this one we could even do without a calculator because we know that any number to the 0 power would give us 1. So 3 to the 0 power would be 1, so in that case, x is equal to 0. Looking at letter E, remember x just represents a number. So if we say, I'm going to call this a question mark, x raised to what power would equal x? Well, let's think about if this was the number 5. 5 raised to what power would equal 5? Or let's think if x was 6. 6 raised to what power would be 6? Well, any number raised to the first power would equal the same number back. So that question mark there would equal 1. X raised to the first power is what will give me x back. So in this case, the answer would be 1. Lastly, looking at letter F, we're asking 5 raised to, I'll say x because it's an unknown value, 5 raised to what power is equal to 0. Now, without using our calculator yet, we could start plugging in some numbers for x, but what we'll find out is that there is no number that you could raise 5 to give you an answer of 0. Because we saw in letter D that any number to the 0 power actually equals 1. If you were unsure about that, you could even test it out on your calculator. You'll find that 3 to the 0 power will equal 1. So, is there any number that you could raise 5 to give you 0? Well, the answer is no. So this type of answer would be no solution. Alright, so looking at these first few, we could do this really without a calculator. But now let's move to the next problem. 3 raised to what power equals 8? You could try some guessing and checking. 3 to the first is 3. 3 squared is 9. 3 cubed is 27. But there's no number that I recognize for x that when I raise 3 to it would give me 8. So here's where logs are essential. If we convert this to log form, we'll get the exponent alone. So let's go ahead and let's practice converting it to log form. Remember, the base of your exponential equation becomes the base of your log. So log base 3 of 8 gets x by itself. And then quick reminder, the exponent always becomes the answer of your log. That's why we need it, so we can get x by itself. Now, looking at how do we perform log base 3 of 8, well, we can actually use our calculator to do this. So go ahead, take a second, and grab your calculator.